Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day today. Let's go ahead and jump right back in. So we had just finished the maze. I'd already checked those items. Let's move forward, see what else we can get done. Come on. I hope the load times are a little bit faster in the full version of the game.
While the survivors wander the dungeons, the battle on the surface rages on.
Rages on.
The warriors of Canabris are trying to defend
Oh, it's
the
Canabris.
Wardstone, but their
I think I've been
strength is
saying
flagging.
Canabris.
Their resistance is valiant, yet it will all be in vain if no one rises up to turn the tide.
Well, luckily, such a person is about to arrive. Finally, I missed the fresh air so much. Well, now we're finally here. Okay. And they're all healed up, right? That leads up, but we're not ready to go up yet. Bam. Yeah, it's just a regular long spear, okay. Do. Man, where that short rest at? I smite thee. Woo. Handling business. The half orc before you, wearing armor adorned with Iomede's golden swords, is clearly exhausted. She obviously hasn't gotten much sleep over the last few days. There's soot on her face and fresh blood on her sword. Her hazel eyes are hard and focused, and her firm voice sounds accustomed to giving orders. She sizes you up, surprised, judging whether you are friend or foe, and opens her mouth to ask you something, but freezes when she spots Anivia. By the goddess, Nevi, I'd almost lost hope. Everything's fine, Beth. I'm here. Anivia strokes Erebeth's head and whispers something in her ear, then stands back and points at you. That's not grammatically correct. This here's Samori Sykes. He rounded up those of us who survived the fall and led us up to the surface. Without him, we'd never have made it out. She turns to you. Samori Sykes, let me introduce you to my wife, Erebeth Tirabade, head of the Eagle Watch. Oh, she's Tirabade. Oh, I didn't realize that before. The half-orc nods. Until the army arrives, I'm the temporary warden of Canabris. And you're just in time, as you can see we're in the middle of a battle, and her stern voice grows a little softer. Thank you for getting Anivia out of there. Where are we? The Grey Garrison. Until recently it served as barracks for our crusaders, but it's now been taken over by cultists. What is the target of this battle? When the demons attacked the city, their main target was the Wardstone. I trust I don't have to explain to you what the Wardstone is and how important it is to the Crusaders. We must retake it at any cost, or the fall of Canabris will be the beginning of the end of the Crusades, and with them the rest of the world. I see that you've had a difficult journey to the surface. You need to rest, but there's a lot riding on this battle. I have no right to command you, but I'm asking you to help us. Important information about the location of a cultist den. Very good. Report to me in full when we get back to the Defender's Heart. It's our temporary headquarters. Right now, the most dangerous cultists are here, the ones occupying the Great Garrison. We met some mongrels who lived beneath Canabris. This is Windog. Surprise steals across Erebeth's face, but it quickly gives way to respect. Most people in Canabris think the children of the first Crusaders are simply a legend. Other people say that the day you emerge on the surface heralds the start of the end of the world. I'm not superstitious, but the situation is apocalyptic, all right. Having a living legend on our side can't hurt. I see you're in need of serious help. You're in luck. If my master is with you, then I am with you also. What is the situation in the city? Erebus slowly drags her hand over her face. The city's gone. Most of the defenders, including the dragon Terran Delev, fell in the first few hours. The civilians either fled or died in the chaos. The place is overrun with cultists and demons. Don't talk like that. Kenebris hasn't fallen, not while it still has defenders like you and me. Sweet words don't change the grim truth. No, she's right. Thank you, Knight. Until we no longer have the strength to hold a weapon, until Iomedae fate abandons us, we will fight for Kenebris. Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important? The Wardstones are a gift of Iomedae, created personally by our herald, a mighty angel and general of the celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the world room from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Kenebris obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the abyss. How did the Wardstone end up in the Grey Garrison? The demons have long laid siege to Kenebris, but this time their lord Discari appeared in the flesh. He ripped the Wardstone from the ground and hurled it halfway across the city to here. I thought the stone was destroyed, but it seems all is not lost. Yet. Discari is gone, but the Wardstone is surrounded by a whole horde of those creatures. What are they going to do to it? Nothing good, that's for certain. But how did he do that? He's a demon. The Wardstone should have burned his filthy hide. It should have. But what happened, happened. We don't know why. Let's not waste any time. To battle. That's the spirit. Erebeth turns to one of her fighters. You, take Anivia to the rear. The rest of you, with me. You hear labored breathing interspersed with disgruntled muttering. Horgus is holding his rapier hilt in a white-knuckled grip. A bead of sweat trickles down his temple. Lord Horgus Gworm, forgive me. I did not realize we had civilians among us. My people will escort you somewhere safe, to the extent that anywhere in Kenebris can be said to be safe right now. I'll go that way. Ba-da-boom. Out the frying pan, into the fire. All right. Okay. Whoops. I'm off. I can never remember which is the correct way. There we go. Okay. And we can't go through there. So.
They will break against our resolve.
What is the problem?
Save the last one for me.
Is it too far away? I don't get it. Bam, 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 give me that. Bam, bam, give me that. Bam, bam. No, no, bam, 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 bam. I want everything masterwork. Everything that I can sell properly. Sealed with magic. Yeah, I'll open that later. And can you... There we go. Trap, 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 trap. No trap. Boom. Loot. Save that. Alright, let's continue on. Oh yeah, this fight. There's a whole lot of guys over there. And there's a whole lot of guys over there. Hey, I know you. So you're one of these cultists? How's it going, pal? Want to join? Your lot will be all dead soon, but we'll be alive. I can't. Come on, leave those losers. The Crusades are over. Soon the demons will rule the whole world. Here goes nothing. All hail Baphomet. You cowardly traitor. I swear on the sword of Iron Maid, I will repay your betrayal. Alright, sure would be nice to throw out a summon right now. Oh, hey! I got all my stuff back. Well. Speaketh and you shall receiveth. Oh, Windog, why are you all the way back there? What is your problem? Run, you dummy. You dummy. I don't understand. Oh, you know what? No, I do understand. I attacked, but I didn't move. I screwed that up. And now Sela's holding down the fort. All by herself. That's not the way things are supposed to be either. You, move. Move out the way of the help. Alright, and she's getting hit up. If I had known that I had my stuff back, I would have reapplied that buffs. This is what I should have done. But hey, it's all gonna work out. One dog will be fine after a rest. There we go. What are y'all doing? I did not tell y'all to go forward. God, dog it. You heal yourself. That's not pleasant. It's not going right at all. You know, they really should give some sort of indication and say, hey, guess what? You've had a short rest automatically. Why don't you even notice? Alright. What are you doing? Pick this up. Thank you. Alright, let's go. Alright, we got through it. Sorry, no, that was my fault. I screwed that up. Screwed that up. Do. Ooh, that is shiny. And do. Anything masterwork. And of course, we want potions, we want scrolls. Even if we can't use it, it's good to be able to sell it. Is there a chest or anything back here? No, I can't go through that door. Alright. Jeez. We really need some upgrades. What is taking you all so long? Come on. Alright. First of all, you come up here with the rest of us.
We will win this war.
We sure will. I'm glad you recognize self. You're out of healing spells. Alright. Fine. Use. There we go. Alright, now. I can't open that door. I know that. We go straight forward here.
I do what I must.
Anything I miss? Hey, I don't know where that guy was, but I'll take that. I'll also take that. Ooh, I'll take that. Those two. Now we'll leave. And what is it? Ooh. Disturbing. And who's this? Do we have guests? The face of the demoness could be called pretty if it had eyes. Her mouth slowly widens into a smug smirk. Just in time. This place is a bit of a mess, and I haven't even poured the blood into the goblets yet. Why don't you? Oh! The demon's mouth drops in surprise as she brings her manicured hand up to cover it. What an unexpected surprise! Stalin, my little sweetheart, long time no see. I've missed you so much. Have you missed me? Admit it, you miss me terribly. Stalin Vane, the aged dwarf from Erebeth's troop, silent up to now, spits on the floor. His hard and craggy face, like storm-weathered stone, twists as if in pain. Monago, you again, you bitch. Monago? The one who... The half-orc is too well-bred to spit on the floor, but the name sounds like a slur on her tongue. Be careful. She's one of the deadliest creatures in the whole demon horde. She was once responsible for a massacre in Kennebrest. She must be back to finish what she started. Staunton, do you know this demon? Does he know me? Staunton, darling, tell them all how close we were. That bitch, the dwarf's voice raps like rusted metal. She's the one who led me astray. She's the reason my life has gone to the abyss. She's the reason why Dresden fell. Oh my, like butter wouldn't melt. Monago threatened Staunton with a dainty clawed finger. What I remember is how eagerly you would run to our tryst. How you begged to see me again. How you promised you'd do anything I asked. By your own free will, you said this. And now you claim that Dresden fell because of me? No, my dear. That was entirely your own doing. I'll beat your lying lips into your filthy throat. Now, Staunton, don't say things like that. Not about these lips, the ones you kiss so sweetly. Staunton, dearest, don't you love me anymore? Remember how good we were together? I was so hoping that we could patch things up. I'll kill you. Guess you won't. Oh, but there's a whole horde of other people we're gonna have to kill. Interesting. Alright, what's going on here? Barrier, fear. Do that. Anybody there that she needs to smite? Not particularly. She needs to do a whole lot though. Oh wow, it's going to take her 4 seconds to do this. Should have put on that boost before I entered the door. My bad. Oof.
I'm all right.
Not really. You are not alright at all. Think about it. Oh, of course. Yeah, she's got to equip first. It's going to get much better after this. It's going to get much better. Okay. Now, she can get a little bit better. Ooh. And they all fall down. Excellent. Bam, 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 bam. And that's all done. Okay. What's going on here? What's this?
That was easy.
The unholy symbol of Discard, the demon lord who attacked Kennebrest, drawn in human blood. I don't know what's coming up, so let's go ahead and use these just to be sure. Alright, and now, do you have all the buffs on that I want you to have on? This, how long does it last? It'll last for rounds, so we do not activate that until we get there. I'm gonna leave that blessing there for now. Okay. Let's go. Punish me? What's the problem? Oh, you failed me? How dare you? Here we go. As soon as you step into the chamber, your vision seems to darken and your knees buckle. You struggle to keep your balance. The air in here is laden with the power coming from the stone. Suddenly your head is filled with voices, screaming, whispering, cackling, threatening, voices pleading for help, shrieking curses and taunts. You blink and the illusion passes. A demon with a mocking smile stands beside the Wardstone. Congratulations, you made it all the way here. This is it, your precious Wardstone. But what are you planning to do now? I could kill you where you stand, but wouldn't it be nice if you could die in battle like heroes? No, I want you to die in despair, scrabbling around like rats in the blighted ruins of your city, blind and broken, your flesh scabbed and seeping, and every moment knowing precisely what was done to you. There isn't a soul that can resist the temptations of the abyss. Even a stone can be turned. I'm not joking. Your precious Wardstone, weakened from the injury inflicted by Descari, has almost succumbed to my charms. Soon the whole barrier around the world wound, the gift of your useless goddess, will be a weapon of the abyss. Just a little more and boom! Manago's laugh rings through the chamber. Every city with one of these eyesores stuck in the middle of it, from Kennebridge to Neurosand, will turn into smoking craters, and all the mortals into red sludge beneath our hooves. So, you have a choice, especially you, my pet. The demon blows, starting a kiss, and then holds out her leg, which ends in a cloven hoof instead of a foot. Kiss me on my dainty hoof, pledge your loyalty to Baphomet, and when the world falls, its ruin shall be yours. Who are you? You've already forgotten me? You mortals have awfully short memories, even shorter than your little lives. Staunton, Sweetums, don't you want to introduce me to your friends properly? No? Well, I'd better do it myself. I am Manago, Lilitu and faithful servant of Baphomet, and leader of his armies. This city is mine now. I'm just starting to settle in, get things just how I like them. But once I'm finished, I promise you, the results will be simply to die for. And it was such a charming little place until you sullied it with your presence. It has such lovely boulevards, quiet and shaded. You took those away from me, and I shan't forgive you for that. They have done much worse things than spoil the promenades, all the people they've killed. Yes, of course. You're right. I grieve for the common folk as well. What is this? You feel righteous fury swell within you. How dare this demon besmirch the ground of this beautiful world with her hooves, a world created by the gods and cultivated by mortals. And these cultists, how dare they betray all that is sacred in this world and join the forces of the foulest evil? Can they repent and redeem themselves? Or have they followed the path of evil past the point of no return? The Wardstone seems to sense your thoughts. The chamber grows slightly brighter. What are you doing to the stone? Well, quite. What am I doing to it? The demon brings her clawed fingers quoticiously to her lips. Probably the same thing I did to many of your comrades. Sweetly and tenderly persuading it to abandon the mortals and join our side. Prepare to fight to the death, demon. We won't let that happen. You feel a sudden rush of wild rage, and with it comes a feeling of monstrous, unbridled, destructive power. It is like the power you felt in the shield maze when you were confronting Sathomalek, but now it feels more fully fledged, more conscious. Shut your filthy mouth, scum. Make me. The demon's face breaks into a saccharine smile. One of the sweetest spoils of war is gloating over your broken and humiliated enemy. You want to deny me that pleasure? I will remember those words, scum, and I will say them back to you. Evil, clearly. You're sick of talking. Why do you have to listen to her? Why can't you just crush, rip, devour whoever you want, whoever's in your way? A malevolent roar erupts unbidden from your throat. Hearing the war, starting to shoot you a wary look. Hey, are you all right? If you're planning on going berserk, don't forget who's friend and who's foe. There she is, the demon. Go get her. You send the troublesome dwarf sprawling to the floor with an elbow to the face. The time for chatter has passed. The demon, that bitch, she must die. The rage bursts free. You want only one thing, to rip Monago's horns from her skull and shove them down her throat. That's what happens when you succeed at the will check? What happens if you fail it? I'm confused. Moving right along.
Their life ends here.
Oh, it's just me? Oh, wait. I got this raise thing. Demon gains +2 bonus on attack rolls, damage rolls, casting, DC for all saving throws. The benefits increase. Okay. Yeah, but he's not really, okay. Let's, nope. Huh. Overload. That's it. I'm tired of playing around now. Irritation seeps into Monago's voice. You want to know what will happen when I'm done with the Wardstone? Here's a little demonstration. Ooh. The demoness whispers a spell and a wave of darkness sweeps through the chamber. Your companions wince in pain, but it is nothing compared to what you feel. Thousands of voices once again burst into your mind, drowning you in their moans, screams, and sobs. Pain rocks through your skull. You will pay for this, demon scum. You will pay dearly. I will dig out holes where your eyes should be and pour hot coals in them. How inventive. Powerless rage, I love it. Threaten me more. The roar of voices blends into an unbearable wall of screaming. Your vision goes dark. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's the one standing up. That's me in my bed. Okay, cool. Not quite the grand Lich I'm supposed to be. Letting these little pansy demons destroy me. It's okay. We're going to get there. Praise Iomedae, you woke up. Healing your wounds was easy, but you were unconscious for so long I was starting to worry we'd lost you. Where am I? We're safe. Nothing can touch us here in the Defender's Heart, at least for now. We couldn't stand up to the demoness, her spells were too strong. Erebeth punches her fist into her palm. It's all right, we'll handle it somehow. You blacked out, but Stalin and I managed to get you here, to the Defender's Heart. It used to be a tavern, but now it's our headquarters. We're gathering our forces here and we're preparing to strike back. I found a cultist dispatch in the dungeons. It seems they are holed up in the Tower of Estrad. Demons have been filling Kennebrez with their spies and infiltrators for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't have enough people to attack the place right now, at least not blindly. I'd be grateful if you snuck in there and scouted out the situation, but just scouting. Don't be a hero. What is the situation in the city? Bad but not hopeless. We're constantly getting news and new sources of resistance keep springing up in the districts where everyone seemed to be dead. The survivors are gathering here. You should see them. Their faces, their eyes, burning with determination. The city is destroyed, but our resistance is not broken. We will keep fighting. What do you plan to do next? You heard what that demon said. They're going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansions before the Second Crusade. Not only Kennebrez, but every city with a Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that, no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomedae's gift must not become a weapon of the abyss. Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important? The Wardstones are a gift of Iomedae, created personally by our herald, a mighty angel and general of the celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the whirlwind from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Canterbury's obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of these monsters from the abyss. Can I help you in any way? First of all, we need to decide what to do with the stone once we get to it. Irabeth lowers her voice almost to a whisper. What I'm about to say is classified. A traveler came to the city recently, a blind elf calling himself the Storyteller. He insisted he be allowed to examine the Wardstone, and he raised the alarm when his study was finished. Even before the demon attack, he had found some damage or flaw in the stone. Prelate Holron dismissed his words as nonsense, borderline blasphemy. But between you and me, the prelate's opinion isn't worth much. I think the Storyteller knew what he was talking about. We could use his advice right now, if only we knew where he was. I remember the Storyteller spent a lot of time talking to Staunton, a dwarf from my unit. You saw him during the demon attack. The elf asked him about the history of the Crusades. Maybe the Storyteller told Staunton something about where we could find him if anything happened. There's another problem. After the attack, the demons began to gather their forces at the Great Garrison. It will be even harder to take them with a head-on assault. But I once heard soldiers talking about a secret entrance to the garrison. Trouble is, I have no idea where to look for it. While you explore the city, please keep your eyes open in case you find something we can use. The half-orc smiles at you encouragingly. And one last thing. The Eagle Watch has lost a lot of soldiers recently. Some were killed, but others simply haven't been seen since the attack. In the chaos that is now Canterbury, it's next to impossible to confirm anything for sure. Irabeth clears her throat. One of the missing fighters is Jana Aldori, a new recruit in the Watch. She got along well with Sela and she often went drinking with her. I honestly thought Sela and Jana had died together, but now Sela's returned with you and there's no sign of Jana. If you learn anything of her whereabouts when you're out in the city, please report back. Everything is clear. May the goddess help you. We're still fighting, which means the Canterbury still hasn't fallen. If you come across any groups in the city that can fight, send them here to the Defender's Heart. We'll need every fighter we can muster for the final assault. Yes, one more thing. If you're in the area, check out this address. It's our house, mine and Anivia's. Well, it was our house. If the building is still standing, open the hidden compartment in the kitchen. It's filled with supplies for a rainy day. You can take whatever you find. You have more need of it. All right. Nothing in my chest, right? There we go. That's if you want to take a rest. I do not right now. Ooh. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? Anivia is outside your door, leaning casually against a shelf. So, here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission. I get that, and I know you'll get the job done. I see you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we're going to be able to fight them off. Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So, the rift that damn beetle left with his scythe? Yeah, well, it cut the city into two and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in the market square. Not that any of them try to make it short. But if you've got a mind to go across, and I think you're going to have to eventually, you might want to give the square a once over. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You what? No! Your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy like waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile. Got it? When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. Might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've got the upper hand and what we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know, after they attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you got any business that needs taken care of, you better do it soon. Thanks for the warning. See you later. Later. Watch out for yourself out there. All right. Cool. Now, we'll go starting first. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high, crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the great garrison. Name's Staunton Vane. If you've heard rumors about me... His face, which looks like it has never known anything as carefree as a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me is true. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The Storyteller? Staunton strokes his beard in thought. Strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first, I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library here. I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there day and night. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as a ruler of Vorlesh, that I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned, that Queen Galfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? Staunton gives you a long, morose look, then sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in fortresses on the edge of the Whirlwind instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell. And all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightfully so, but the queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live. Decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing, and I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. Absolutely. Evil. Spit in his face. The dwarf casually wipes his face. He looks at you calmly as though nothing happened. Damn! Life is that bad, bro? You letting people spit in your face? Cray cray. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else. Like my little brother Jordan. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I was completely alone. Jordan, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to a sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the condemned. Surely you have paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priest. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of dwarvenkind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I am still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own God doesn't think I deserve redemption? I have to go. Go on then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Whew. What a pitiless existence. Camellia looks you over pensively, toying with the snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that the girl wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long as she slips back into cautious silence. Tell me about yourself. You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? Camellia arches a dainty brow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land, and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers. Although they don't get all the credit, I am a most diligent student. Camellia licks her parched lips. Your amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice it. But I assure you, this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? Anyway, as much as I enjoy our delightful conversations, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please excuse me. Camellia turns away, watching you out of the corner of her eye. Here, take this. Yes, it's 2,000 coins. Take your payment and remember that Horgus Worm always keeps his word. You helped me get back to the surface and I duly paid you for escorting me. Now, speaking of our future cooperation. Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay you generously for your services. What do you mean a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter? Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps noble of heart, but without a coin to your name? Horgus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves, so why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it? Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. I failed a perception check. Rough. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. Horgus puts his hands on his hips. Oh, really? How impudent. No one dares tell Horgus Worm how to address the rabble. What does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Kennebrez. I still have Well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it is in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened there since. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they've no desire to set foot outside the tavern. Damn cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Also, please do take Amelia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth, after all. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins, Horgus replies without hesitation. No. You could do better. Double that. Ooh, and I succeeded. Awesome. Several tense moments pass in silence. Then Horgus' face relaxes. Deal. Well, then we have a deal. Marvelous. Most excellent. Horgus' face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hands. But do hurry, unless you want me to lower your reward. Threatening to lower my reward? How dare you? What you got to say? A strange figure towers over the bar, a huge, ungainly man with skin so milky white that his blue veins are visible even from a distance. His bald head is equal parts lumpy and pitted, and blood-filled eyes stare impassively out at you from beneath his pale brows. The glass in the albino's large, clumsy hands look dangerously delicate, as if one twitch of those calloused fingers would be enough to crush it. A gold medallion engraved with a tankard gleams around his neck. What'll it be? Who are you? The albino slowly takes your measure with his red eyes and finally, with a gentle sigh, says, Jamil Hawks, vampire. Are you really a vampire? Jamil gives you a long look of reproach and then begrudgingly answers, No. How did you end up in the Crusader City? How did anyone end up here? How did you, or them? With a huge hand, the tavern keeper gestures at the ragtag group assembled in a room. The world is so big, but there isn't a place for everyone. People who no longer have a life anywhere else, they end up here. The medallion you're wearing, that's a sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Caden Kalin? I'm a tavern keeper, best in the city, best as ever been, the man shrugs. You're wondering how this tavern is still standing? It's a miracle. Any news in the city? The albino looks around. There are demons everywhere, and you showed up. Are there any places in the city worth visiting? If you mean places that normal people usually stay away from, then there are plenty, like the Pitaxian wine cellar. Jamil pauses for effect, like the name of the place alone should make you quiver in fear. It once belonged to a Pitaxian trading house. Then King Orvetti came to power in Pitax and properly started changing hands. Soon after, the cellar shop assistant was found in a ditch. Not all of them, mind, just his head. Numerian gangsters had taken possession of the place. They wanted to sell something stronger than wine on the street, and they ended up on the gallows. Then King Iravetti's number was up, so now the store stands empty and unclaimed. People say that a headless ghost wanders the place at night, moaning ghoulishly. Ooh. After coming to this end of the story, unusually long by his standards, the tavern keeper takes a swig from his tankard. Just don't ask me how he makes any noise with no head. I wasn't there. I just tell it like I heard it. So you're not one for talking. Jamil gives you a long, mournful look and says nothing. I have to go. The tavern keeper sees you off with a subtle twitch of his pale eyebrows. Alright, who's next? Guess this guy. A young man in well-torn traveling clothes and a simple wooden symbol of Aristotle on his chest is efficiently cutting a linen robe into strips to use as bandages. Despite his visible exhaustion, he works with zeal, singing some tune about red braids and ripe sheaves of wheat under his breath. He raises his warm, chestnut-colored eyes to you. Are you one of the Crusaders? Thank you for defending those of us whose talents lie off the battlefield. I'm Jernog, servant of Aristotle. Pleased to meet you. What are you doing here? I only took my holy orders recently, so my God has only bestowed a little of his power upon me as yet. I'm sorry to say that the number of wounded fighters in this tavern is far beyond my powers to heal. But there's a reason people say, have faith in the gods, but look to yourself first. I may not be able to help the wounded with magic, but I can at least cut up bandages. Are you from around here? No, I was just passing through Canterbury. I was sailing down that old man of ours, the Great Selin River, to a village by the name of Chili Creek. I happened to land at the city on the eve of the festival, and I'm ashamed to say I decided to stay for a day to enjoy myself. But I ended up staying in the city longer than I bargained for. Chili Creek, what is that? It's a small fishing village. It's not even marked on some maps, but people do live there. What they don't have is a priest. They have no one to heal their wounds, no one to offer prayers for a good catch, no one to give their dead a dignified burial, and the ward wound is a stone's throw away. So I'll be sailing for Chili Creek to serve my good God and my people. Hey, add it to the map. Once we've held Canterbury's, I'll be going there. If by the grace of the good gods we all survive this, you should come and visit me sometime. You'll find the village here, on the bank of the river. The priest marks Chili Creek on your map. I could use the help of a cleric. Dranog makes a helpless gesture. Aristotle knows I'd be glad to help you, but it's no use. My spells are depleted and I have no training in potions or scrolls. See this robe I'm cutting up for bandages? It's the second to last one. I have to go. May Aristotle watch over you. All right. Boom. Get that. Yeah, survivor. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. I'll made a Predarthos. Got you again. How many times is that today? Take your jokes and shove 'em, tiefling. Whoa, easy there, Chief. Don't hit me. Jeez, nobody can take a joke these days. I don't need anything of that. I don't need any of this either. I am ashamed to say I've tried this puzzle multiple times and skipped it every single time. I can't figure it out. It's 1, 2, 3. And I assume it's this passage right over here that it will open, but I don't see any rhyme or reason to the puzzle. I've tried more combinations than I can count, and it's not working. I also don't know if hitting the same button twice in a row, what it does. I don't see any changes other than these switches flip up and down. So there's that, but let's see. Let's try it. Okay, this is up. Let's try it with... And this is so dark over here, I can barely see whether or not this switch is up. There we go. So this is those two switches are up. That switch is down. So now that switch is up. That's down. Just a whole lot of nothing, no matter what I do. How about these two down? I felt like I heard an extra sound there. What does it mean? I have no freaking clue. about these two up? Still nothing. This down. This one back up. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I just know it's right here. It's right there, and something's behind there. There's not an extra switch that I'm missing. Oh, wait, what's that? The button won't budge. Wait a minute. Am I trying to... Wait, so these switches aren't to... They're not to open that door. They're to make that button available.
In due time.
So let's see. This is up. That's up. Is that switch up or down right now? Crap. That switch is up now. That button is not budging. Right, okay. This is up. So this is up, this is up, that's down, none of that works. I didn't realize I was supposed to be paying attention to that button thing over there. Now this is up. Okay. First is down, so I've got to try all three of them down. Which means, there we go. All three of them are down. Now, we've already tried it with just that up. Let's try it with just this up. None of that works. So pull this back up. Now those two are up. And this is now up as well. That does not work. The button won't budge. There's something I'm missing. And I'm going to continue to miss it here as well because I lack the patience to deal with this any further. Woljif. The young tiefling sits cross-legged on the floor. He looks relatively calm for someone in shackles, but his tail whips back and forth in agitation. Noticing your attention, the tiefling sits up and beckons you over. Hey, Chief. Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something really important. Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out. What is it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you, but no one told me I had to shut my trap. Who are you? Woljif Jeffto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want, anything, but there's just one problem. The tiefling rattles his chains and gives you a meaningful look. What do you want from me? I'll lay it out for you, simple. Simple job, 30 minutes top. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra ratchets, no problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle, and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives, too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby. What a load of guff. If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck here now, would you? Don't listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras. Why are you in chains? Doesn't really matter. Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now. He was caught thieving. Your shadow, what was that? The tiefling grins and laughs. Get me out of here, and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious. I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you? That's easy. You know Erebeth? Feisty looking gal. Always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will you? Tell her there's this guy, Woljif, locked up for no good reason to defend his heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. Got that? Will you do it? All right. I'll talk to Erebeth about your situation. Woljif grins. I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you. We'll talk later. All right. Go here. Go here. I talked to all those people. Talked to him. Who else? Anivia. Anivia, in her muted colors, blends almost perfectly into the background. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drums her fingers on her hip near her weapon sheath. She shows no sign of her injuries and confidently leans on her previously broken leg. She pretends to have just noticed you, even though she watched you approach from afar. Oh, hey, see how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump, or dance a jig if I feel like it. Are there any suspicious places in the city that I should pay attention to? There are a couple good spots I was challenged to check out, but I didn't have the time. If there really is a den of cultists there, it'd be good if you could swoop in there and bust some heads. You don't even need a search warrant. Anivia shoots you a crooked smile. First one is a simple thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabric, but they always seem oh so busy. They're busy with something and they're alright, but suing it ain't. Second one is the Alchemy Shop, Topaz Solutions, and they trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going down in that place. Tell me about yourself. The girl shrugs with a lazy smile. I'll be happy to, but there's something kind of nothing to tell. What's so interesting about me? Where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found in the cabbage patch. The girl stopped short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like blabbing about my past, but you saved my skin, so I guess I kind of owe it to you not to clown around, right? I'm from Nadal, and I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure. Ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead, and the official religion is the cult of Zon Kuthan. I grew up in a slum, like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles, my mom's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us. Creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards in Nisrach. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in a secret temple of Desna. I never saw my mom again. I lay low in the temple for the next few years, kept my head down. I washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while I started liking Desna's teachings. But as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nidal and got as far away as I could. Quite a ragtag group you've got here, from nobles to street thieves. You got that right. Only the best for you. What do you do if the knights and nobles fail to save the world? The lowlifes are our only hope. How did you meet Erebeth? I was bumming around time a while back, doing this and that. Desnan temples sometimes gave me odd jobs. You know, sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nadal, the freedom of River Kingdoms should have seemed like heaven. My chance to sit back and enjoy life. But I wasn't happy. There just wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone. No one cared about me, and I didn't care about anybody either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Tying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river started to look pretty appealing. One day, I was hired to find some fellow who the local authorities suspected were Rasmarin spies. I was stupid. I made a rookie mistake, and they caught me. It's like my body had already decided to do what my mind had been fighting, to finally put me out of my misery. Got someone else to kill me since I didn't have the guts to do it myself. They grabbed me. I thought they'd gut me on the spot, but instead they hog-tied me and dragged me off. And just like an animal going to the slaughter, my only thought was, let's get this over with. They brought me to their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and I realized who it was. Kuthites from the Dahl. They tracked me down after all those years, but I didn't care anymore. Wouldn't even have cared if they had eaten me alive or whatever. We all gotta go sometime, right? So I was lying there staring at those knives pointing at me when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Erebeth. There she was, storming into the cave. Picture it. I'm lying on an altar with all those knife-wielding maniacs around me, and suddenly Erebeth storms in. I thought it was Almeida herself, fierce in her shining armor with her gleaming sword raised. She made quick work of those scumbags, shot them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then the girl's face lights up as she chuckles. She looked through the papers they had on the table, and she started swearing like a sailor. So much for Almeida. How did you and Erebeth end up in Kenebris? After almost becoming a human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Erebeth's side. Desna knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and when Erebeth showed me what was in those papers, proof that the cultists had a nest in our home city, well, I offered to help her without a second thought. Anivia smiles warmly. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the cultists, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Kenebris like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half of the Crusaders are the same. After all, who volunteered to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You gotta be either a goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit with no life out in the normal world with normal people. People come here to run away from their debts, their past, from themselves, so I fit right in. What is it like living with Erebeth? It's like living. Without her, I wouldn't be. Seriously, if I were alone, I'd definitely be gone by now. Sure, sometimes we argue, can't deny that. Sometimes we bang our fist on the table and yell so hard that the walls shake, but that's all about order business. But at home, well, I'll give you an example. I kind of always wanted to move out of that broom closet we call a house and into somewhere cozier. It ain't like they take a view of poverty at the Eagle Watch, but every month somehow most of our spare money is spent on Crusader business. Sure, I get mad about it, but Anavia makes a helpless gesture. It's part of why I love her so much. You know, Erebeth has that thing that matters most for a person, a purpose in life. She's always got a reason for whatever she's doing. Her whole life is a crusade, and I just drifted around like a leaf in the wind until Desna brought us together. Now she's the meaning of my life, so it really makes no difference if we live in a mansion or under a bush. Thank you for your answers. Thanks for asking. Telling you all this kind of made me feel better. What are your responsibilities in the Eagle Watch? Anivia smiles evasively. Nothing official. I'm not even a knight, you know. I just hang around. You sure you want to know the details? Catching traitors and spies and cults is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. You can't always do it all within the letter of the law. What if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search? Everyone will know about it before long, starting with their cronies. Then again, sneaking into people's houses at night ain't exactly legal. Crusaders can't be doing stuff like that, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight. The girl trails off. I have to go. All right, you watch yourself now. Okay. I believe that help is already on the way. The queen will not leave us to die. A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Who are you? Viscely Rathamus, rector of the local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone, though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who is that boy with you? This one, Kayado, the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Iristil, though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, I sell scrolls. I have a lot of them, something for every emergency. Second, while you're here in the cavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed. No surprises. But you better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. too old, and my powers are needed here. I'm not buying any scrolls right now. I have to go. May Abadar aid you.
I do what I must.
Windog's tense stance indicates that she is constantly alert. Her eyes are focused and resolute. Noticing you, she lets you speak first, bowing respectfully. Master, I am at your service. I want to know more about you. The underground warrior looks flattered. She raises her chin proudly. Ask anything, Master. How do you like it on the surface? Windog scoffs condescendingly. Among uplanders, your customs are strange. The huntress casts a glance at you and corrects herself quickly. I mean theirs, not yours, Master. You are strong and clever, but I'm looking at other uplanders and wonder. For example, have you seen how proud they are of their weakness? Look, my hands are so soft. I've never done anything with them in my entire life because noble blood runs through my veins. What does it matter who his parents are? I am the daughter of a former chief of the tribe. So what? Is this what they respect and fear me for? Saul became a chief because he was old, experienced, and smart. After him, I would become a chief because I'm strong and even smarter. And these weaklings would just die in our caves. Windog squints tiredly. Everything is strange here, but it's all right, Master. We'll put things right, won't we? Tell me about your life in the caves. Better than an uplander might think. There's stone everywhere, it's reliable. When you hide in a crack, you know for sure you are safe. Not like here, all this empty space around. You always have to be alert in case an arrow flies and hits you. It's calmer underground. Of course, there's less food in the caves in here, but there shouldn't be as much food as here. Look, Master, there's so many fat uplanders. Why do they eat so much? Like cattle that is fattened to make its meat tastier. There was only one fat person in our tribe, Saul, and only because he was old. And here, in general, everything is somehow fair in the caves. When there isn't enough food for the weak, they die. The lazy die. The sick, in the head and in the body, die. Only the strong and skilled ones survive, and blood becomes thick and resilient. What happened between you and Lan? Windog shrugs disdainfully. He is a good hunter, but not too clever. A dum-dum. He was the strongest in the tribe after me. That's why I kept him close. His heart is soft, as opposed to his body. The huntress smiles shamelessly. But then I met you and I didn't need Lan anymore. Now I only want to hunt with you. I can tell you are proud of your strength. Windog throws her shoulders back proudly. Of course. Let everyone see who is standing in front of them. The weak must obey the strong if they don't want to be reminded about their place. Even as a snot-nose, I could bring those twice older than me to heal because I despise pain and have never been afraid of anything. I was praised, I was flattered, I was wanted by the best hunters of other tribes, but I didn't care. You start listening to their praise, you get soft and die. No, I always went further. I tested myself. I stood on the very edge of a cliff. I almost died many times, but I always returned stronger. I got all my strength myself, and if someone didn't respect it, I just grabbed my knife. This is why I became the best huntress in the tribe. On the surface, your people are called mongrels, but is that word not to your liking? The huntress shrugs her shoulders. Let the uplanders call us whatever they want. It doesn't matter. I know what they're trying to do. By giving us this stupid nickname, they are asserting their status and superiority over us. But it's normal to try and dominate a stranger you've just met. That's expected. When my kin conquer the surface lands, we will be called whatever we want. Why do you serve me? Windog gives you a bland smile. Because you are winning, and I want to be with a winner. I don't like sharing food and fire with weaklings. I prefer those like you. And also because being close to you is convenient. I love life. I'm young and strong. It makes sense to eat, drink, shag, and kill enemies while you are young, not when you are 30,000 gongs old and shriveled like Saul. As long as I'm your servant, I can have fun as I like and order around anyone I want. Who will dare defy me? No one. The huntress squints lazily with content. Kill for me, and you will get everything you dream of. Winddog gives you a malevolent grin. It's good we understand each other, master. As we say, we hunt in one cave. Everything is clear to me now. Winddog lowers her head, bowing much lower than is customary. Your interest pleases me, master. Let's talk about you serving Hasilla. There is some anxiety in Winddog's eyes. She draws up the spider legs on her back. Of course, master, but now I only serve you. Did someone say something about me? What did you do for demons? I brought my kin to their lair to make them recruits in the demon army who accepted the power given to them. I made my tribe stronger. Later, when we wouldn't need demons anymore, my kin, as powerful as I am, would help me. The huntress sends you grim and blood... There's an A missing there. The huntress sends you a grim and bloodthirsty grin. Aren't you ashamed of betraying your kin? Winddog replies respectfully but defiantly. I know that Saul would have called me a traitor, but for only one reason. He became old and cowardly. I accepted the same fate as my kin. I ate the flesh too, and for many gongs I thrashed with fever, growled like an animal, came at everyone. My body was burning from the inside. But I handled it because I was the strongest of them all. Not a single day have I regretted getting the power. This is why I'm not ashamed before my kin with whom I shared it. Why did you decide to switch allegiance? I served demons only because they promised me power, and only while I had something to give me. Only while they had something to give me. Winddog chuckles, revealing her sharp teeth. But being dead, Hasilla will never give me anything, and I was never about to risk my life for her. You are a true leader. I'm eager to follow. There is servility in the huntress's voice. How can I trust you? There is jealousy in Winddog's voice. Why would I betray you, master? You are the strongest. It would be stupid to defect to your enemies and die along with them. No, I am not that dumb. I have no more questions. A good thing we met each other. You can use a good servant, and I, a strong master. Please stop groveling. Winddog shakes her head. I'm not groveling. I am showing respect for your power. This is exactly how the weak should behave in the company of the strong. You promised me an army of mongrels. Winddog squints her cat-like eyes. And I will give it to you, master, but first we have to rebuff the attack on the city. Saul was preparing for the return of underground crusaders to the surface all his life, and he won't take risk. He will order tribes to hide in the caves like rats and will observe. Are they strong enough to fight side by side with us? Or is it better to sit it out, wait for another chance? We have to fight back demons, have a glorious victory, show Saul that ours is not a lost cause. Then he will give us his warriors, and then it will be my job to turn them into real soldiers. That's it. The huntress looks you in the eye with devotion. Thank you for talking to me, master. Looking forward to seeing more of that relationship develop. A tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and cut very short in military style. He is impeccably shaved, lean, well-groomed, and with a monocle in his eye, twinkling coldly. The bold spark in his eye and his large but agile frame attest that he's a man always ready to get moving. Greetings, I am Hillor, venture captain of the Pathfinder Society. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders in the region of Mendev. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with a demon worshiper named the Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone without the support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintance among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. Tell me about your confrontation with the Spinner of Nightmares. It all began with a task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Nuracian with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falron. We soon focused in on a small hospital for the wealthy where Falron was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out that a gang of Baphomet cultists calling themselves the Labyrinth of Mind had gotten a foothold at the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless. And when they returned, they were different, almost normal. But the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their mind, and they transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of Mind was preparing to infiltrate all the elite circles in Mendev, but Baron Falron stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath and too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. We opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's pitted vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from their minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could, but the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter, Lori, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. From that note, I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt had begun. I would get Lori back at any cost. Hilor grits his teeth with bulldog determination. I want to know more about you. What exactly are you interested in? I am a common Pathfinder. There are many others like me. Fate and my orders brought me to this land. How did you end up here? I was working on an assignment for the Pathfinder Society, and then a demon worshiper named the Spinner of Nightmares abducted my daughter Lori. For the past 3 years, I've been trying to save her. During this time, I've become a specialist in scouting demon territory. I've even planted agents among the cultists. Truth be told, in pursuing the Spinner of Nightmares, I've been acting more on behalf of Queen Galfrey than the Pathfinder Society. It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you the rest of it sometime. Hilor frowns grimly. This Spinner of Nightmares is the true spawn of the Abyss. I've fought her many times, but I've never been able to seize her by the throat. Tell me about your daughter. Hillar smiled, showing his healthy white teeth. As a girl, Lori was just an angel. We lost her mother early on. She was left to follow my example, a drifter with little idea how to talk to a 10-year-old girl. But even with such questionable parenting, Lori managed to grow into a wonderful girl. Brave, smart, beautiful, and entirely unbearable. She's always arguing with me about everything. When Lori was 18 and told me she was going to be a Pathfinder, all I said was, all right. I knew there was no use to try and talk her out of it, as she was a fine Pathfinder. Hillar's fists clenched with a painful sounding crack. I'll never forgive the Spinner of Nightmares for taking my girl from me. Tell me about the Pathfinder Society. The Pathfinder Society is a global organization that unites opportunists and adventurers of all kinds. We explore the world and uncover its secrets, travel, and sometimes face down threats. In times of trouble, the latter becomes our primary focus. We're driven by curiosity and a desire to make the world a better place. And of course, some seek profit or hunger for glory. Being in any case, it's hard work. They might send you anywhere on a mission. Weaklings have little place in the society. It's more for seasoned fighters. There are society lodges in many cities. The closest one is in Nuracian. They're each led by venture captains, lads like me. The Grand Lodge is in Absalom, the center of the world. The Decemvirate sits there, the anonymous council of our leaders. I have no more questions. If you have any questions, come to me. I need brave and experienced fighters. You can rely on my lads, but you'll have to pay them. 2,000 is their standard rate. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, but the society has established universal rates to avoid competition between Pathfinders in different countries. All right, I gotta go. Good luck. Watch your back. Only trust your closest friends. The enemy is cunning and treacherous. Okay. I hope I get to save his daughter at some point. Assume I do. Seela smiles at you warmly. Hey there! During that march through the dungeon, we never got the chance to exchange a proper greeting. It's high time I shake your hand. I'd like to know more about you. Of course, ask anything. I'll answer honestly. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? I'm a little bit from Geb, a little bit from Katapesh, but mostly from the Knights of Iomedae. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other place. You've come to Mendev by a long road, haven't you? A very long one. Seela looks at you cheerfully. A traveler is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I have only 3 tales of any interest, and I'd like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging. And that just won't do, especially since I win the night with my cautionary tale of a battle with Chupacabras. What a feast it'll be. We'll talk when we celebrate our next victory. Or you can say that they're going to tempt you. Come on now, don't tempt me. Incredibly repulsive magical beasts, fast and dangerous. They can, well, it looks like someone's fooled me into starting the tale. I guess now I will have to tell the whole story. Picture a small town in Kadira, and down in the dungeon there's 2 murderers waiting to be executed. The gallows are already built for them. The rope's been bought. But sometimes life takes a surprising turn. Suddenly, a paladin of Iomedae appears in the doorway and offers the murderers a deal. If they go with her to fight some monsters, they live. If they survive, that is. There's a big difference between imminent death and probable death with a glimmer of hope, wouldn't you say? So here we are, traveling through the desert, me and my friend, a priestess of Serenade, along with the little rat folk fellow who'd asked for our help, and 2 cutthroats. We get to the rat folk village and saw their bodies laying around, all drained dry. We figured we'd have to fight vampires. That's how the little rat folk described the monsters who attacked their village. That's why we went in all brazen-like. The sun was high, and the vampires couldn't attack until dusk. But we never got a chance to look around. Black shadows, quick as the wind, attacked us from all sides. Not vampires, but chupacabras. One of the lads we pulled from the gallows got killed right away. The second one ran for his life. That left me, the red folk, and Kira. That was the name of the priestess. And we all steeled ourselves for the fight of our lives. And just when we thought the end had come with the I'm going to get tripped up on this every time. Chupacabras surrounded me like a pack of dogs around a bear, and our rat folk friend wounded and down, and the teeth of the quickest of those blasted monsters was clenched on Kira's shoulder. Right then, when all hope was lost, the other lad from the gallows suddenly comes running back. He kills the beast attacking Kira. I'm sure you know what a turning point in a fight looks like. Well, this was it. A moment before we were lost, and a moment later, we had it back under control. The Chupacabras dropped dead one by one. The little rat folk is reunited with his family, who are hiding in the basement. The priestess and I closed the eyes of that boy from the gallows who saved us. It was a shame he didn't survive the fight. May the gods keep his soul in its journey through the afterlife. Your savior was a fool. He could have easily fled. If he was a fool, I like that sort of foolishness more than cold, merciless calculation. Had it not been for that mercy, Milos, that was his name, would be hanging from a noose, and me, Kira, and all the rat folk would be dead in that village. Someone told me that a kind deed done by an unkind person is 100 times more precious. By the same token, an evil done by a noble soul is 100 times more horrifying. That's what I really wanted to say. The Chupacabras were just a good starting point. What made you become a paladin of Iomedae? Seela's gaze sharpens momentarily, then she sighs. It's a serious question and a good one. You should ask it of your companions. But it's a long story. To start with, 12 years ago, I was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Soku with the other homeless orphans. I stole. I fought. I was a hired sword for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Soku was a city of orphans, widows, and widowers. Gnolls decimated the city regularly. My parents were among their victims. People there heard about new deaths before they'd finished mourning their previous losses. One day, a group of knights of Iomedae brought a glimmer of hope to the city. But while others saw them as saviors and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses and their gleaming mithril armor, wondering just how much one of their pretty swords would fetch. A thief lives one day at a time, that's what they say. I was the type that never thought past the next job. Anyhow, I was able to sneak into the knight's camp and steal one of their mithril helms. Sheila pauses, her voice sad and measured. And I was right there when a gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Asami was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. A gnoll like all those others, she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of Soku. That one blow was fatal, but who really was to blame for her death? The gnoll attacker or the young thief named Sela? I can't remember if I chose lawful. Am I chaotic evil or lawful evil? I can't remember. I'm gonna take a guess to say chaotic. Life is cruel and full of chaos. Sometimes survival just comes down to luck. So that's how you see it. Sela looks at you with curiosity but no hostility. I can't accept that point of view. If the story of my youth taught me anything, it's that we're all accountable for our actions. It's too easy to wave off responsibility if you use the cruelty of life as an excuse. But you were asking what brought me into the ranks of Ayamede's warriors. We all chose the Paladin's path for our own reasons. Some are guided by my nobility of spirit, some by a desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through penance and a debt unpaid. The day Asami died protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt I felt. But then I realized I wouldn't make the world any better, and I decided that instead I'd try to take her place. I become who she had been and protect the innocents that she would no longer be able to protect. What are the principles that Paladins of Ayamede follow? Sela smiles. I'll tell you. I like to recite our code. It feels like I've said it 1,000 times, but it never gets old. There is strength in these words. After a pause, she begins, her voice slow and meditative. I will learn the weight of my sword. Without my heart to guide it, it is worthless. My strength is not in my sword, but in my heart. If I lose my sword, I have lost a tool. If I betray my heart, I have died. I will have faith in the inheritor. I will channel her strength through my body. I will shine in her legion, and I will not tarnish her glory through base actions. I am the first into battle and the last to leave it. I will not be taken prisoner by my free will. I will not surrender those under my command. I will never abandon a companion, though I will honor sacrifice freely given. I will guard the honor of my fellows, both thought and deed, and I will have faith in them. When in doubt, I may force my enemies to surrender, but I am responsible for their lives. I will never refuse a challenge from an equal. I will give honor to worthy enemies and contempt to the rest. I will suffer death before dishonor. I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate Ayamede's perfection. Sheesh. Alrighty then. Thank you. I've learned everything I wanted to know. I hope I didn't bore you. Ask me something else if you like. Erebeth said your friend Janai Aldori is missing. Do you know where we should look for her? Erebeth is worried about her fighters. I understand that. I want to look for Janai myself so I didn't distract you. But since you're in this too, I could use some help. Janai and I met in Kenabreeze a few days ago and just hit it off. We went drinking together. We went to that unforgettable celebration together too, but we got separated in the crowd. So we should start looking from the main square. That's where I last saw her. Sela frowns. Janai is a good fighter even if she is green. She couldn't have become an Aldori otherwise. I hope that means she's alright. What do you think of what's going on in Kenabreeze? It's complete chaos. It's lucky we're here to handle it, right? Sela smiles brightly. Then she gives you a worried look. Does the way I talk bother you? I know I can seem blasé. Many good people and our protector Tyrandalev died here in Kenabreeze. A paladin of Ayamede is expected to be properly respectful and solemn. but I prefer to face my troubles with a smile and a bit of common sense. Grief is a weapon they'll use against you. It can undermine a warrior's spirit. It's better we hold off on grief until we're driven the last demon and cultist from the city. Pretty sure I am chaotic. If we want to win, we can't be mourning our deceased day and night. Plus, joy heals the soul. It's nice when you and your commander think a lot. Sela smiles softly. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming the hero of 100 ballads? Or at least a dozen, if they're lively ones. Sela's eyes shine cheerfully. Anyway, to be more serious, the area around the World Wound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is reward enough for me, but there's something that worries me. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watts and the other orders are focused on just one aim, the war against the World Wound. That's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know? I always liked being a wandering knight because any moment I could get up and go help a poor rat folk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So here's my answer. I don't have some big important goal, but I'll be happy to help those who need it. A little bit here and there. Thanks for speaking to me. Until next time. Sela smiles. See you. All right. And dun-dun-dun. There goes another quest. Erebeth rubs her red and tired eyes. Any success? How is the city? There's a tiefling chained up in the defender's heart. What can you tell me about him? Erebeth shrugged scornfully. Woljif is a petty thief from a gang of thieflings operating in Kenabres. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Woljif knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? Erebeth squints at you thoughtfully, then shrugs. If you want to recruit Woljif and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guards' hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful should you decide to take him along. What's our main objective? You heard what the demon said. They're going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Kenabres, but every city with the Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that, no matter what. We will retake it, either destroy it if we must. Iomede's gift must not become a weapon of the abyss. These Wardstones, what are they? They are our greatest treasure, the shield given to us by Almede herself, and placed in Kenabres and other Medivian cities and fortresses by her herald. The chain of Wardstones forms a protective barrier that stops the expansion of the World Wound and keeps the demons from moving beyond its borders. I shudder to think what will happen if that barrier fails. Allow me to ask a few personal questions. Frowning a little, Erebeth nods. Please. But I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. Where are you from? I was born in Kenabres. I grew up on a farm just outside it, but my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to be where I've always belonged. How did you become a paladin? A bitter smile appears on the half-orc's face. I don't much like to remember it. Believe it or not, the story of how I became a paladin is also the story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders. May their souls stand together in Iomede's celestial army. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue their legacy. But my father was an orc. You'd be pressed to find a calmer, wiser, and more pious servant of the goddess than he. But still, all his life, he was dogged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older and it was time for me to serve, I decided, anywhere but Kenabres. That was where my father had served loyally and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, the witch hunters led by the honorable prelate Holron stalked the city with a heavy hand. Who knows what they'd have done to a strange girl with green skin. Instead, I went to A smirk that looks more like a painful grimace crosses her face. You can laugh if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose Last Wall of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted in a country that's been battling the orcs of Belskin since its foundation. There were many there like me, but we were all treated as second-class citizens. To the locals, my green skin was worse than leper scabs. Even my brothers in faith kept their distance. I took my vows, and the goddess granted me the powers of a paladin. But even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking on doors before I realized a simple truth. I serve Iomedae, not these people. I don't have to prostrate myself before them. So I left, as a paladin, but not a knight. I'm sure you can imagine what it's like. In most places, tieflings are despised even more than half-orcs. How did you come to join a knightly order? I left Last Wall and went traveling. The goddess guided me, and my path led me to where atrocities were happening. Often fought in exchange for gold, but never for unworthy aims, of course. I wandered the river kingdoms for a few years, killing monsters and tracking down criminals. Sometimes I thought I was just wasting time, that my true place was in Canterbury's. But I pushed those thoughts away. I didn't even want to think about going back. But in the end, divine providence has brought me to my senses. It happened in Taimon. I was tracking a gang of bandits, which my employer suspected was a cover for Razmiran spies. I managed to find their lair, but inside I found something far more dangerous than spies. An unholy temple to Zan Kuthin. When I broke in there, the cultists were about to sacrifice someone, the person who was destined to become my wife, Anivia. But that's another story. After I cut down the cultists, I examined their papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults had spread through all of Avistan, including Mendev. Worse, the documents clearly showed that their allies, the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth, had infested my native Canterbury's and were even among the ranks of the Paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantamount to desertion. Luckily, I was no longer alone. Anivia was as eager to destroy the cultists as I was. Anivia and I hurried to Kennebress. We couldn't trust anyone. The papers indicated that the cultists had infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in investigation, and my beloved, the half-orc smiles warmly, she knew her way around working locks, tailing people, and trading information with the city's bottom feeders. Soon we defeated, alas, not the whole Hydra, but a few of its heads. Do you know who turned out to be the leader of the cultists? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Can you imagine? While Prelay Holron was chasing witches through the city, the enemy had infiltrated the very order responsible for internal security. The scandal reached the ears of the Queen. At first she planned to disband the order in disgrace, but then she offered its command to me and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I wasn't a knight, but I was made commander just the same, skipping the usual progression through the ranks. How did the people of Kennebress feel about your background? They tolerated it surprisingly well. I shouldn't have been so wary. Crusaders don't tend to be prejudiced as a rule. After all, heroes from all over the world, even from other continents, come here to fight the demons. Apparently the people were only suspicious of full-blooded orcs. There were already many like me here, and we don't have any problems. Though the locals do have their superstitions. Mendev is as merciless as Last Wall. They just have a different set of victims. I kept seeing those same sideways looks and scowls, hearing the familiar whispers, but where once they used to whisper behind my back and point at me, now they whisper in my ear and point at someone else. It's so strange to be on the other side of humiliation, to wipe the spit from your face and suddenly be invited to change position and spit at someone else. You must have figured out by now that I'm talking about tieflings. It's true there are many of them among the cultists and few among our crusaders, and our fighters do all they can to drive away those who would be our allies. People shun them, call them Aralu's spawn or worse, as if they chose to be born like that. I believe it's quite a feat to rise against the call of one's blood and join the forces of good. Still, most only see them as an enemy. I once saw a knight bleeding to death because he wouldn't let a tiefling priest touch his wound. Alas, I haven't been able to change this in all my time in Kennebress. Perhaps you will. I hope your example will show others of your kind that they are needed here. Perhaps, looking at you, even some of the cultists will see that birth does not co-sign you to a life in the service of evil. Tell me about Anivia. We met at Taimon as I was wandering aimlessly from one ordeal to another. We returned to Kenabres together to expose the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth. The day the Queen knighted me was the second happiest day of my life. The first was the day of our wedding. But Anivia isn't just my beloved, she's my staunchest ally. We share every victory and defeat. The best of me is alive thanks to her. Thank you for saving her back then, the day Kenabres fell. Before her return, the only thing giving me the strength to protect the defender's heart was the hope that I'd see her again. We are in your debt. Thank you for your answers. Erebeth nods without saying a word. Tell me about the Eagle Watch. It's a small order created to fight not only demons but also the enemy within, to maintain the purity of the paladin ranks, prevent heresy, and identify spies, and it failed miserably at that. The Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth infiltrated it and formed their nest within its ranks. After the Queen entrusted me with leading the order, Anivia and I practically built it from scratch. We got rid of dead weight, people who weren't committed. We organized ways to transmit messages and orders safely. We introduced reliable ciphers. We found tacit allies around the city, from Crusader orders to street beggars. This was my personal crusade to purge the city of the Templars who had infested it, and I thought I was winning. I could feel it. We were so close to driving the cultists out of Kenabres. But Erebeth frowns. It's hard to admit, but those successes don't count for much once the demons enter the city. On the contrary, if it was for you, there wouldn't be a headquarters. Exactly. Intrigue and inspiring mean nothing when it comes down on this fighting. Success, when we got up to the surface, there were more cultists in the city than crusaders. What exactly was your order doing? Well, let's do with that. Erebeth lowers her head. We did all we could, but it wasn't enough. The cultists were everywhere from the start, and the demons just razed everything to the ground, despite our efforts. I have to go. Go. May Iomedae keep you safe. All right. Let's go get Woljif. Oh, wait. No. Actually, before we do that, all right. Any interesting swords? That glaive doesn't help us. That long sword is still not identified yet. Don't need that stuff either. Okay. So none of the magic stuff we have is actually identified. Show me what you have. Well, just neophyte. I know you have. Where is it? Here we go. We know you got bag of holding. And she already has a composite light bow. I don't remember if what's his name already comes with the +1 glaive, but we're gonna keep that around just in case. Masterwork longbow. She already has that. I'll check just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure she already has that. Okay. Composite long. Oh, this is composite, but that's a masterwork. Where is that masterwork longbow? Here we go. 18411. So no, she has it, and there we go. Okay, so yeah, sell all that, and then that gives me 2,000. All right, we'll leave it at that. Great news, buddy. Woljif is sitting in the same place with his tail impatiently batting the floor. Well, Chief, what have you got for me? I talked to Erebeth and I decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes. Woljif leaps to his feet and gleefully rubs his hands. Ha! You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin, get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free. You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words. You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can you? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. Woljif is free from his shackles and rubs his chafed wrist. And now, Chief, straight down to business. He glances around, making sure that no one is listening in. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. You could just call us the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that Big Sister Charisme wanted to see me, that she had some questions to ask me. You following? Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down. I just want to know. And I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look me, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go. I'll show you the way. Cool. All right. Errand is complete. Try this one more time, even though I know it's futile. Absolutely futile. All right. And check this one more time.
I'm off.
Wait, what? Whoa! And that worked. That is so weird, but I'll take it. I have no idea what I just did. Okay. Please, fix that so that it's more clear what the hell you're supposed to do with that puzzle. All right. What is this crap? Queen, get off your important. Yeah, okay. I'm not reading all that. What's in? Ooh. I'll take it. We likes quite a bit. All right.
I'm there.
No idea what happened there, but so glad. Ooh. Thought I'd never get that freaking puzzle. Bam. I can't even do a guide video telling people, hey y'all, this is how I did it. Like, I have no idea what just happened there. None whatsoever. Bye. All right. Ooh. And this. Collect all. And hit that. There we go. And now, let's get this stuff sold. What up, Joran? A grizzled dwarf turns a blade in his callous hands, carefully inspecting its edge. When he sees you approaching, he sets the blade aside and greets you with a nod. A new face in the city. You picked a good time to come to Kennebrez. As you can see, we're in sore need of warriors. Do you know everyone in Kennebrez by sight? Well, not everyone, but I make it my business to know the people who might need my services. A blacksmith's work isn't just at the anvil, you know. We've got few of your kind in the city. The smith shakes his head in annoyance. I'll be honest with you, you won't last long here. By hook or by crook, tieflings are run out of this city, even if they be thrice blessed paladins. It's shameful. Are you starting veins, brother? Yep. Where he goes, I go. That's how we've always done it, even before the war wound. I forge the armor, he goes into battle and breaks it. He brings it back to me, and I repair it and make it better than before. Everything's changed since then, of course, but that part has stayed the same. I was starting the blame for the fall of Dresden. I've told this story so many times already. Well, telling it one more time won't kill me. The blacksmith sighs. Dresden was built after the First Crusade, back when it seemed like victory was ours for the taking, and that the demon invasion would soon be at an end. The population of Old Socorus was thoroughly diminished, and many of them hoped to see their hard fighting repaid with a small plot of unclaimed land. Dresden was a fortress built on all our hopes, and on Mendev's ambitions, though you're not supposed to say that out loud. What a city it was, Samori Sykes, you can't even imagine. It was built by the finest engineers of the Five King Mountains. Queen Galfrey spared no expense. Dresden was meant to be the capital of the Crusade movement, a monument to its glory and a beacon of hope for all Galorian. Heroes were drawn there to seek fame and glory, and they came from all over. Taldor, Garun, Tianzia, I couldn't list them all. A relic known as the Sword of Valor was kept there, the banner that had been carried into battle by Iomedae herself, back when she was still human. That banner protected the city and kept the demons from teleporting inside its walls. As long as the banner was in place, Dresden was invincible, or so we thought. But then the war wound suddenly expanded. The demons launched a new onslaught, and folks started saying it was time to declare the Second Crusade. Dresden was unassailable until one young officer was tempted by a beautiful woman. She convinced him that the banner shouldn't be hanging in the city, that its rightful place was on the battlefield. She whispered honeyed words about glory and valor and convinced him that he would be a hero as great as Iomedae herself, and the poor fool believed her. He rounded up some of his hot-headed friends and carried the banner outside the city gates on an unauthorized foray. The demons slaughtered them within seconds, but for some reason the courageous ringleader was spared. A whole army teleported into Dresden. It was a bloodbath. Jorn solemnly shakes his head. As you can guess, the officer was called Staten Von, and the woman turned out to be a demon. Not just any demon, it was Menago, the foul wretch. She's given us a lot of grief here in Kennebrez too. Just don't ask me what I was doing while my brother was off having trysts with that beast and why I didn't save him from his own stupidity. The blacksmith gestures at this to ward off the inevitable reprobation. Who could have guessed it would end like this? I failed my brother, that's the truth. I blame myself every day looking at his plate. So that's the story. Why do you have your forge here in the tavern yard? Wherever I am, that's where my forge is. A true master of any craft would always find the tools they need. I miss my old forge, of course. It's now just a pile of charred stone and metal. But I've still got my hands, and that means I can work. Alright, show me your wares. Alright, attrition dagger. +1 dagger. That's interesting. Alright, she's good. She could use that. And he's got masterwork daggers, right? Okay. Heavy crossbow. Light crossbow force. Interesting. Light makes a severe strike. Masterwork composite longbow. I see no different. Oh wait, no. Masterwork means gets that +1. So yeah, we want this. And do we want anything else from here? Doesn't look like it. Not really. Oh, what's he holding again? Yeah, it's a masterwork light crossbow. Armor of vigilance. -3 perception. Yikes. 1 second. Let me check. Crossbow there. There's a crossbow of force, but it's 7,000. I'm straight on that for right now. He'll be all right. Okay. Let's go ahead and give the people what they can use. She was good with that. She is good with that. Oh, we finally have someone who can identify stuff. Wait a minute. What happened to... Hold up. Charisma 2. Interesting. Give that to her for now. What happened to the special longsword? Did I accidentally sell that? Couldn't have. Show me your wares. Oh, there. Right, okay. I'm looking for that long sword that was in the caves that we picked up behind the door with the colored puzzle. Why don't I see that in the list? Am I bugging? Maybe he has it? No? Am I tripping, y'all? There was definitely a longsword that was sitting here that we couldn't identify, that I was waiting to come back here for. This is super whack. And it wasn't this one. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, at least. Alright, whatever. Here. 7, 16, 3, 12. This is a +7 to attack. That's still a +7 to attack, so even with that, buys us nothing. Alright. Alright, we will just move on. Let it go. Let it go. Alright, sell all that. And move out. Whoa. Stop standing that way. And then finally, it is time to level up. Alright, we're gonna keep you as a fighter. I know you need athletics. And you're all the way in the back. I don't care about your perception. So yeah, get that up to speed. Alright. What do I want to do for you? We got deadly aim. And we got rapid shot. What does deadly aim do again? Lowers your attack, increases your damage. Rapid shot. Significant decrease to your attack. We'll start with deadly aim. Armor training. Oh, that's right. Now that I think about it. Well, no, because she has that high dexterity, but she can wear at least light armor. And yeah, he is chaotic evil. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Camellia, what's up with you? Definitely want you working on trickery. Yeah, I guess stealth works as well. You're not an archer. Oh yeah, well, she's definitely using this rapier, so might as well have you excel in that. Spell book. You can cast spells. What do I want? Definitely. How does color spray work again? It's all creatures in a cone, so no, I'm not big on that. There are a couple of times where Burning Hands has its uses, so I'll let you keep that. And then Camellia, hey, you entered in a whole new world. Bull Strength is the only thing we have for this. Restoration Lesser, nah, not really. Oh yeah, Bark Skin, definitely like that. Give you a couple of those. Level up, Paladin. Even though you don't excel in it, I need you to have perception. You're right up in front. Don't need you to have persuasion. Why don't we give you some religion? Give you some religion, girl. And we could do weapon focus, or we could do armor focus. You know what? I'm gonna do weapon focus. Screw it. Even though, actually, now that I think about it, If I do weapon focus, I do it for a longsword, and that's to my disadvantage right now. So actually, we'll focus on her ability to... We will do heavy armor focus. So I want you to stay upright. Take off fatigued. What is our courage? All right. It's hard to make us feel fear. All right. Spell book. She doesn't get any spells yet? Oh, okay. And then finally, persuasion. Definitely need that. And I only get one skill point. I already excel in... Oh, you could excel even more if I wanted to. Or I could focus on something else. Is it conjuration when we're... You know what? Let me make sure I know what I'm doing. Spell book. Right. It's so what about... Alright, so we'll specialize in two things. Necromancy and conjuration. I just want to be summoning. All the flipping time. All the flipping time. So not greater spell focus, because our necromancy probably isn't all that great yet. But conjuration. Alright. And here we go. I didn't get any chains? No, I definitely got a chains. What are you talking about? There we go. Alright. And then 2. Bone Shaker. Oh, nice. Oh, Bone Shaker's in under Necromancy, huh? Oh, okay. That's interesting. And I guess I could throw some cure on there. And actually, none of the rest really appeals to me all that much, so I'll just go ahead and throw that on twice. There we go. All right. Now, usually I would rest now to get all my powers, but you're on the clock. Because I do not want to have to do that major fight where the demons come and attack this place. That fight is super annoying. So I'm not even going to bother resting. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Alright, what's up here? Is there anything up over this area? No. Let's do this.
Let me draw the first blood.
Ooh. 12 on sneak attack. Love it. Alright. Obliterate all you guys. Rookie. Anything more we can loot? Doesn't look like it. Keep going. Let's go. Enter. Alright, brief save. Woljif, what's up with your leader? Sister Charisme, the basement is dark and dank, and you are immediately struck by the hostility of the gathered tieflings. 5 of them are kneeling along the wall, separate from the rest. The tall woman, who had been cleaning her fingernails with the tip of her knife, greets you with narrowed eyes. Brother Woljif, you got my message then. Sorry I couldn't swing by sooner, dear Sister Charisme. It was just one thing after another. First I was in shackles, next... Well, no, I was still in shackles and I was being watched, and then the chief got me out and I came here straight away. I knew you'd be waiting on me. Enough talking or else we'll be here all night. So, we had a clear plan. We were going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, grab the goods, and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guards, there was enough time to get away. But what happened? That bitch Irabeth showed up almost right away. She knew we'd be there. Somebody betrayed us. And I have a good idea who it was. What do you have to say to that? Make it quick. Do you think Woljif knows the name of the traitor? Charisma turns to you. He speaks. I thought Woljif only brought you so he'd have someone to hide behind if things went south. Yes, he knows the name of the traitor. Every gang that Brother Woljif has been a part of has very quickly come to an end. Their hideout location was passed to the guards, or their competitors found out where they can ambush them. Woljif is the only one who always comes out smelling of roses. If you think about it, you'll come to the same conclusion as us. Cannabis is burning. Why are you squabbling here instead of fleeing the city? Charisma purses her lips. I'd be glad to leave, like the rest of my brothers and sisters. But in the family, there's nothing worse than betrayal, and it's something we do not forgive. We don't forgive anyone who lets traitors off the hook either. If I don't find the rat, my superiors, let's just say I wish I was burning in Kenebres. I want to keep living, so I'm going to take a chance. Until I find out who the traitor is here, no one is leaving. I'm not lawful, so I won't select that. Woljif, tell us your side of the story. What happened? What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Charisma got 6 of us together in this very basement. Me and those 5 over there, I mean. Woljif jerks his head towards the 5 tieflings kneeling by the wall. She rounds us up and says we've got a score. Ace and Trees and Wonders, the one place nobody's ever been able to hit. The place is guarded by a golem. But now, a powerful scroll that would knock out the golem just happened to come into our possession, along with a tip-off that the shop owner would be gone a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, and we know that any attacked junk will sell for a pretty penny, so we're in. And the most important thing is that none of us was to be hanging about the shop ahead of the job. No casing out the place, no calling attention to ourselves for either golem or its master. The job was top secret. That's all true so far. Go on. We did everything right. With the locks and the golem, I picked the lock. I remember it clear as day. Sister Donna was on lookout. Brother Mulroon had the scroll. Dofi, Tavi, and Varna brought the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack. And one right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under the table after, and the next thing I knew, Erebeth was there. Everybody scampered, but I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me out by my tail and put me in shackles. They took all my rings off me, about 20,000 worth. And to add insult to injury, I never even found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you. Poor thing. Stripped you of your loot, and you didn't even manage to stash anything. Charisma is pointedly polishing her knife. Where's the moon of the abyss, Brother Woljif? What is the moon of the abyss? It was an amulet. It used to sit on a little cushion in the window of wonders and antiquities. Sterling silver sparkled like a star. Fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon, a crescent, a waning moon. And in the middle there was a dark crystal, like it was eclipsing the moon. Old man Philemon was so proud of that amulet. He used to say, I'll never sell it. It's a jewel of my collection. Woljif sighs unhappily. I used to go there to see what kinds of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at in Canterbury. People used to claim it was a powerful thing, but who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have the guards on you the second you tried to fix it. Everybody knew that you were always hanging around wonders and antiquities, drooling over the moon of the abyss. Do you think you could swipe it in all the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope that we'd all be locked up and you get off scot-free and with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woljif. I see right through you. Why would Erebeth arrest her own informant? Took the words right out of my mouth. It doesn't make any sense. If I was the rat, I'd have kissed her on the hand and been long gone by now. You know me, sister. I'm a cautious fella, not an idiot. Why would I go against the family? So the fish in the cellar can have a nice Woljif-sized dinner? The moon of the abyss is a pretty bauble, to be sure, but it's just an amulet. It ain't worth dying over. You know Erebeth's people would protect you. You knew you could pin the moon going missing on them. And now you've come here with backup. You knew exactly what I was going to say to you. Only problem is, nobody's returned the amulet to Philemon. Are you giving Erebeth a cut? Is that it? Have you seen her? Do you think she'd take a cut of anything I offered her? She can't be bought. She's like 3 heralds of Amadei rolled in one. He speaks the truth. You'll find some knights who'll take bribes, I'm sorry to say. but Erebeth Tirabade isn't one of them. Go on, Woljif. That's the whole sorry story. Woljif crosses his arm, looking affronted. Some family this turned out to be. It's just a name in the end. In a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. I didn't take the moon in the abyss. What am I going to do with it? You can't sell it to no crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, sure, but it ain't that pretty. If it's that important to your sister Casman, I'll find it, and I'll drag the trader here by his horns just so you don't end up at the bottom of the Celine. But do you know what you're going to own from me for that? An apology. Right here in front of everyone. You're going to apologize loud and clear so everybody hears it. You'll say, sorry, Woljif, you're a good guy, and I was wrong about you. Fine. You're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woljif, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup and every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's coming for you. You'll have no peace. But one day you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath, and that is when we'll get you. Got that? You've a way with words, Sister Casman, a way that made me almost wet myself, but a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll go chat to that scary gal, Erebeth. She knows you a little. We can ask her who ratted us out. I'll let you do the talking. We'll find the real traitor. And I'll give my apology. Onward to Erebeth, Chief. Let's go clear my good name. Root out the traitor, but be quick about it. Time's running out. I don't want to get chewed up by demons. All right. Boom. That's that. And now. Nope, not there yet. I'm gonna go here. But I gotta get. Cool. That's right. Okay, cool. So that's next. I wonder what the new pictures of the tieflings are going to look like. Ooh, let's go here. I really, really love this photo, and I'm wondering if they'll have anything that's similar to it in the new versions that come out. I'm not sure if any of these old photos that were available in Kingmaker are going to be available in this new game. You know, they could just add on top of it, or decide that they'll just give you a brand new slate for you to work with, and the old ones won't even be available. You've already told me that those creeps have damage reduction, and I've already dealt with them. Why do I need a second go round of that? Information. Don't get me wrong, love the tutorials. That's for later. Hey, you actually enter this area, okay? What's going on here? Ooh. Hey, I thought Woljif had more trickery.
Am I not?
Guess not. Oh no. I really don't want us to start using spells this soon. Yep, that's unfortunate. There we go. Come on. There we go. There we go. With that. And none of them have anything interesting. Any pickups that are interesting? Sure.
What do we have here?
Stranger. You do not know. The absence of an answer is an absence too. All right. What do we have here? Yeesh. That heal is nothing to write home about. All right. All right. Now, what is this? Both barbarians.
I'm always ready.
Yeah, I guess we'll burn a summon on this. Let them kick off the fight.
I'll bathe in your blood.
There we go.
This will hurt.
Oh, I can't tell the dog what to do, huh? Whoa, she is getting all the way hit up. What is your problem, little lady? Lovely. Little doggy distraction. I do hope that the later versions of the summons will be ones that are actually formidable. I'll be honest, I didn't use summons virtually at all in Kingmaker, so I'm not really familiar with how they work.
I do what I must.
Typically in medieval RPGs, I prefer to be a rogue type guy, because there's nothing that irritates me more than coming to a locked chest or a door that I can't open. So I always want to make sure that my personal guy is able to handle those situations. But this game has such a strong focus on religion and, you know, the battle between heaven and hell, that it spurs me to want to actually use other classes that mesh better with angel, demon, and in this place Lich. All right. Uh-oh. Can it breeze burns? The city should never have fallen. Fate shows no mercy. Darkness and malevolent rage hide between many masks, but I see them for what they are. I see them in you. I hear the echo of menacing footsteps. I feel the heat of ancient cursed rage. Old enemy, you will not escape so easily. Servants of the Abyss, you enter the house of memory with evil in your souls. Soon you will be but a memory. Yeah, so this scene goes completely different if you have, for the most part, picked angel options.
Quickens.
And there we go. The translucent winged female warrior recoils from you with a look of fury on her beautiful face. You brought us back to waking. What do you want, foe? Who are you? Not who, what? Memories. This place was created as a cradle of memory and fantasy. The things that belonged to the city's heroes were kept here. People used to come to this place to remember those heroes, and myself and others are living memories. You woke us, so here we are, Targona. I thought it was only my kin who arranged stupid displays like this. Heroes' relics? Ridiculous. Who needs the scrap metal left behind by people dumb enough to get themselves killed? Who wants to admire a collection of failures and defeats? So your memories of who? Of all the heroes the city wished to immortalize. Go, touch a memory, see how they remembered us. After all, this place was created so that our names would never disappear into the mist of history. I wish I could say that we have not dishonored your memory, but Canterbury lies in ruins, and we But you fearlessly battle the invaders with no thought for yourself. You have earned no censure. We are proud of you. Right, in the olden days, Mordenkainen lost to the demons time after time after time, and now the descendants are continuing their losing streak. How can they not be proud of that? That's awesome. Why did you attack me? Because you are darkness. The abyss lives within you and you gladly submit to it. I can sense that you recently allowed your bloodlust to blind you in order to stand against a powerful demon. This confrontation took place very close by, somewhere deep below the city, but the echo of your deeds has reverberated much farther. The world takes note of all doings, deeds, and even thoughts, noble and dark alike. I don't know what you are, but you frighten me, and I am a memory of someone who spent centuries fearlessly fighting the hordes of the abyss. You fought for centuries and you lost for centuries. Maybe the world needed someone stronger than you to get the job done. The hordes of the abyss have battled each other since the dawn of time, but the triumph of one monster over another offers no reprieve to mortal kind. No matter who emerges victorious from that battle, they will inevitably turn their weapons on us. Be gone, illusion. The translucent silhouette throws up her weapons in defense, but she disintegrates to nothing at first strike. And yet she's still here. Whoever you are, keep quiet. There's a horde of enemies just beyond this door. Come over here. And you'll see there's a handy way up nearby. Alright. Come on. Be quiet and watch. This is the best part. Get it together, idiots. No more looting. You're all sit tight here, wait for the order to attack the defender's heart. It's the last bastion of the Crusaders' resistance. We'll flatten them and claim our victory. Into the abyss with all the Crusaders and defenders' hearts? Keyless, the city is ours already. Now it's time to enjoy the spoils. Split up into groups quickly. I'll tell you where to go and what to bring back. Faxon, you idiot. Go back to Baphomet. He must be missing his lapdog. Everyone here will be following my orders. I'm in charge. We won't submit to you, you dirty Descarite. Keep out of this, Keyless, or I'll curse all your extremities to wither and drop off. Everyone, listen to me. What we're going to do is... Looking for a fight, Faxon? Well, you've got one. Oh, that's not going to end well. Holy smokes, he slashed into him with a scythe. Had enough, worm? I'm in the charge here. Keyless is the strongest. No looting, only slaughter. We're going to sit here and wait for the command to attack. The defender's heart will fall. And that's it. The grim-faced dwarf with a thick head of black hair holds a finger to his lips. Then he points at the enemies and whispers, "Stay away from there right now. The tower is the main stronghold of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth and their allies. Going up against that many of them would be suicide. I have a better idea. If the demons and their mortal agents were better organized, the Crusaders would have been crushed long before now. But they're always trying to spread in every direction. Right now, in every corner of the city, there are demons like Keyless who are trying to consolidate their forces to launch a joint attack on the defender's heart. Who are you? Greyboar. I'm a contract killer who's been hired to kill that demon that just walloped the other one. I've tracked him all the way here and was planning to kill him when this crowd showed up, so I had to pull back. So there are people who only hunt demons? Windar looks at the dwarf with respect, and demons think they are the superior predators. They think so. Catching Windar's eye, Greyboar gives her a short nod like an equal. Their overconfidence will be their downfall. What do you suggest? Don't even think about trying to take them all on single-handed. You'll be mincemeat. Better to warn the Crusaders and the Defenders' heart that the demons are planning to attack. And later, once all the attackers have been taken care of, it'll be much easier to sweep through this tower and eliminate the Defenders left behind. Like when dueling with rapiers, one doesn't lunge, but waits for the opponent to strike and leave themselves open. Greyboar's eyebrows shoot up as though he wasn't expecting to hear such words from the delicate young lady. He nods anyway. Yeah, exactly like that. Or like in cards, wait for your opponent to play his hand and then dive under the table, grab the pot and run. Who hired you? I'm afraid that's confidential. As a professional, I'm obliged to keep my client's name a secret. We could attack them together. I have no desire to die today. If you choose to go in there, I'll take advantage of the opportunity, of course. I'll kill Kailas and get back here as quickly as I can. I'm not going to fight any of the others. I don't work for free. The city is burning, people are dying, and you're thinking about how to fill your pockets? The dwarf shrugs. Yes, so what? Listen here, girl. If you're so eager to save someone, go and do it. And don't waste your breath preaching at me. I'm going now. I hope you act wisely. Alright. First, quick save. Alright, now... Use a heal. Probably could use a heal. Alright. I still want to save that rest so I don't have the buffs I really want to use. Let's see if we can just roll with it.
Anything for you.
I appreciate it. See, if you all might have been weirded out by the voice I've been using for Window, but if you listen to her right there, her voice is rough and gruff, just the way I've been doing it.
What's that there?
All right. Let's get it popping.
Have I pleased you?
Professional. I love a good professional. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I forgot about the fireball dude. I forgot about him. That's just ugly. He needs to be taken out with the quickness. I forgot about him completely. You did not heal yourself, girl? Making things even worse. Some more. I can use this. Oh, and I could have cast a bless. Could have done a lot of things. Come on, some more. Get it together. It's all right.
I can't die now. I'm not nearly rich enough. It's all your fault. Go. It's all your fault.
I might have to do this again.
Got it.
This'll leave a bruise. I'll just sit here.
Ooh.
Don't worry about me.
God dog it.
I'll rip you apart.
Oh, there's someone right there. Ah, this is gonna work. God dog it. Alright, let's try that again. I guess I will have to use up some of my buffs. Fine. Alright.
Together we stand.
Together we stand. Put that on her. Put that on himself.
What's on your mind?
Put that on herself. Cast a bless. Alright. And +2 deflection to AC. What bonus is this? That's a deflection bonus. She does not have a deflection bonus. There we go. Alright, now with all the buffs on it, we push this column.
Have I pleased?
Goes in. Professional comes in. Ka! You will be crushing no one. Alright, now. You. At least he should only be able to cast that fire thingy once. And then she uses that. She comes in with that. No, actually, start with Battle Spirit. Alright. Now she's got that. Oh, she's already using that. So no, she doesn't even need that.
Go for their hearts.
What is the problem? Why didn't... Oh, he did cast Grease, but Faxon is still up. That's unfortunate, but whatever. Okay. What do we want to do? I want her focused on killing people. He can focus on trying to heal. Why are you all the way up there anyway? In fact, no. Before you start trying to heal, here, give him something he has to think about.
What a mess.
Right, there we go. So now he's down all of a sudden. Why does he take so long? Lovely. Much better. Much better. Oh my god, what is going on? What just happened? Oh, she's getting acid attack.
Are absolute.
Open your heart to me.
There we go. She probably is gonna need another. What is the problem? There we go. She's gonna need another hit of that. There we go. Alright. Hey. Nobody got any sort of permanent injuries or anything. Excellent. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. She might be able to make use of that full plate. Okay, y'all. That's enough. You can stop. You can stop now, okay? I know. It's Grease. Isn't there like one other like chest or something somewhere around here? Or trap.
No reason to pause.
There we go. Come on, girl, hurry up.
I am helpful.
There we go.
I'm there.
Yeah, every so often you've got your moments. Alright, I'm not gonna bother healing just yet, because I don't need to. Collect all that. Alright, come on. Uh-oh. A pale and frightened half-elf looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace like he just ate something slimy. Hey, who are you? Praise Baphomet. What are you doing here? Did Faxon send you? I heard a noise outside, but I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Who are you? I am Telmir, the scribe and senior aide to Lord Xanthir, the plagued one. And do forgive me, but Faxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? What are you doing here? I'm compiling a list of the valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanthir has ordered that everything of use should be transported from Canterbury's and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as a place to collect and sort through the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first few hours of the assault, but there are some objects of interest among the exhibits they left behind. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where's Faxon? Woljif sniggers. Fight his thieves in mid-dev. Turn your back and everything that isn't nailed down to the floor will be gone when you turn around again. The demons have no chance against the masters of our trade we are. Windall looks at Woljif in surprise. That is actually slightly impressive. Not very impressive, but still. There you go, bragging again, dummy. Thieving has never led to anything but harm. Trust me. If you fought the way you thieve, now that might be useful. No thanks, every person has a calling, and this is mine. But imagine if you fought as well as we thieve. Where is the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him. I told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer's out of his mind. So tell me, where's Faxon? Clear off before I kill you. The half-elf pitches forward, then grabs his bag and leaps away from you. You're lying. You want me to come closer so you can steal the papers that have been entrusted to me, and I wouldn't be able to destroy them if I did that. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulls a sheet of papers from his bag as he goes. No, I have valuable letters from Lord Xanthir here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls the pages up in his fist and shoves them into his mouth, then begins furiously chewing like a hamster. A moment later, the half-elf's eyes bulge and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming, his face is growing paler by the second, and he falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wad of wet paper. His expressions veer from the hilarious to the grotesque as he signals to you for help. Windog, watching the half-elf suffering, snorts and bursts into brazen laughter. Evo. The half-elf falls into convulsions, scrabbling at his throat. For all that time, he looks at you in terror, the bystander to his horrific demise. What an idiot. God has punished them all. At least we can see the kind of mind that swears allegiance to a demon lord. I wish all cultists were as dumb as this one. It all ends quickly. The half-elf's lifeless eyes stare up at you in silent rebuke. Ba-boom. A little bit, I guess. Collect all. Collect all. Collect all. Ooh, yeah, definitely collect that. Chain shirt.
I am helpful. Am I not?
do what I must.
See something over there. What's that there?
All right. Stay very, very still for me. There you go.
I am helpful. Am I not?
And there we go.
I hope you appreciate
That up as well. Move that. Anything way back here? Yep. Something. I don't understand why none of the party members come with a specialty in cookery. It's kind of weird. Like, you would think Woljif at the very least would be able to use it. It makes me miss Knock Knock. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Collect all that, collect all that, collect all that. We just clear this whole place out. And there we go. Save. The old man, looking around absent-mindedly, shrinks away as you get closer. His head seems to shake uncontrollably, but his hands are surprisingly deft and assured as they level a magic wand at you. Stay back! Which are you, robber or demon? Hey, take it easy, Graham. So that's the way it is, eh? You see horns and you think thief or demon? Quit scaring the old man, dummy. Have you seen your horns? They, how should I put this, don't exactly inspire trust in a city that's currently overrun with demons. I'm not going to hurt you. The old man googles at you in terror, but he doesn't lower his wand. A rustling comes from somewhere behind him. Rats. The old man wheels around fearfully and peers in the direction the sound came from. The hand holding the wand gradually falls to his side. When he turns back to you, there is no fear in his expression, only vague confusion. I'm sorry. I was distracted. What were we talking about? Who are you? The old man lowers his wand in confusion. I think... His expression grows distraught and mournful as though he is on the verge of crying. I forget. His gaze falls on a piece of cloth carefully stitched to his cloak, which reads, Teldon, Tower of Estrad Museum Custodian. Aha! I am Teldon, the custodian here. My memory isn't what it once was. My faculties are failing me, but at one time my mind could cut like a diamond. I was a Battle Mage, one of the few who survived the Battle of the Lost Chapel. But I'm an old man now. Sometimes I set down my keys one moment, and the next, I can't remember where I've put them. With a pleased smile, the old man pulls a hefty set of keys from his pocket and proudly shows them to you. Here they are, my keys, my little lovelies. I would never give you away to anyone. Remembering himself, the old man hastily stows the keys back in his pockets. What are the keys for? Oh, these keys are for everything. I can open every door in the Tower of Estrad with these. The museum custodian on duty must carry these keys at all times and never be parted from them, not even for a second. And why is that? Because if the keys were left unattended, they would be pinched by thieves, wouldn't they? Thieves who stripped the museum of all its treasures. What are you all looking at me for? Woljif exclaims indignantly, even though no one is looking at him. Give me the keys. Out of the question. According to the museum protocol, the custodian does not have the right to hand over the keys to another. I am personally responsible for the safety of the exhibits and the storeroom. We'll go with chaotic. And succeeded at trickery. Teldon looks around fearfully, and as he does, your finger slips silently into his pocket. When the old custodian turns back to you, the large bunch of keys is already tucked safely into your belt. Teldon shakes his head in confusion. Why did the demon spare you? The museum custodians look at you in stark surprise. Demons? There have been no demons in this museum. I heard them breaking into the tower, but then everything went quiet. Then a very polite young fellow came along, a half-elf. He said Kennebrins was under attack, but that the Crusaders had already recaptured the tower. He said he'd been sent to oversee the evacuation of the museum. He was very pleased to find me here. I proved a very useful resource. I showed him all the most valuable relics, explained what they were, and he wrapped them up, labeled them, and carried them off somewhere. And I've been here all this time. The old man gives the keys a satisfied shake. I locked the doors and stood guard to make sure no demon got in. But I've not seen a one of them, haven't heard any either. I've grown hard of hearing over the years. Wendell wrinkles her nose in disgust. Maybe the short lifespans of my people isn't a curse, but a blessing. At least we never lived long enough to turn into something so pathetic. That half-elf was a demon worshiper. The old man frowns in confusion. What do you mean, demon worshiper? That fine young lad, so well-dressed, so polite? But he said the Crusaders... Oh, my word! The relics! We must go after them! The old man works himself into a state, bitterly lamenting as he roots through his many pockets. But the outburst doesn't last long. The motion of his hands slows and the awareness fades from his eyes. He stares off into the distance and then looks at you, wets his lips, and sheepishly inquires, "Sorry, did you say something? What happened here?" The old man burst into agitated muttering, gesticulating furiously with shaking hands. First the bell started ringing, and then there were noises in the streets. Then the dragon, Lady Terrandalev, began to roar. I went to lock the door, but they were already inside, the thieves. There were 7 of them, or perhaps 10, I don't remember. They were talking some rubbish about how they were all orphans, supposedly, and that they were dangerous. They grabbed me and wouldn't let me go. And then they looted the place. They took anything with even a lick of gold on it. Relics, too. The museum boasts a very extensive collection, you know. And worst of all, they took the wand. And when they were done, they tossed me aside like a piece of old junk. They didn't even bother to kill me. The museum custodian looks at you with affront and anguish in his eyes. What wand did the thieves steal? The wand of Zacharias, my master. He was a great man, the hero of the defense of the lost chapel, and those scoundrels took his wand, a relic. Ballads are sung about Zacharias, and they're just damn thieves. Master Zacharias will return, and he will assemble all of us, his students, and will show them. I'll show them what Battle Maze Teldon is made of. Fury sparks in the old man's eyes. His spine straightens, and in a fluid motion, his hands raise his wand at the ready. But a howl of rage from outside frightens off the ghost of the past. The old man turns around and looks at you in befuddlement. You were just asking me about something. I forgot what it was. Where can I find these robbers? The old man throws up his hands. I haven't the foggiest. They're thieves. They know out-of-the-way places where they won't be found. That's where they are if they're still alive, but they won't be in the city. I heard them talking amongst themselves about how they need to get out of Kennebrus before the demons wipe them out. Are you all right? The poor old man smiles piteously and makes a helpless gesture. Old age, my young friend. Old age and the poison of fear seeping into my mind. Both have turned me from a crusader and battle mage to the sorry specimen you see before you. This museum is all I have. Whenever I forget who and where I am, I just read the exhibit labels. They are of the past, just like me. And now some ruffians have ransacked this place. I'm frightened, my young man. My young friend. I'm very frightened. Tell me about the museum exhibits. The old man seems to come to life. It would take a lifetime to tell you all there is to know. But I'll take you on a tour of the highlights, some of my personal favorites. You should have a look yourself. You won't regret it. For instance, we have a painting here depicting angels fighting demons. Now you may find it hard to believe, but in the first Crusades, many heavenly beings fought shoulder to shoulder with the Crusaders. And these two in the painting are Targona and Lario, the Silver Twins as they were called. I actually met them, you know, when I was a young man studying under Masters of Carius. They had no airs or graces about them. They walked among the mortals. They spoke to us. They healed our wounds. Lady Targona I remember especially well. She had a special, unearthly wisdom within her. The angel Lario, on the other hand, was known for his daring, and the youngest Crusaders idolized him. I wonder where they are now, the twins. We don't have celestial beings in our ranks anymore. They all left sometime during the Second Crusade. On a very important mission, they say. But I do love looking at this painting and remember those days when envoys of the heavens walked among us and the light that seemed to shine from within them. The old man wipes his eyes. What was I saying? You must be a messenger, yes? Or are you a visitor? Why did those times end? Why did the Celestials not fight with us still? Heaven has not abandoned us, surely. They don't want to help. Fine, there's no need. Relying on the help of others is a weakness. We'll win on our own. Alright, usually if I was playing the evil character, I'd attack. However, I'm pretty sure Zacharias is the Lich, who is going to teach me and help me become the Lich that I will eventually be. and I'm wondering if I'll be able to make his disciple one of my undead. So I'm going to leave. I'm actually going to take the good option, in fact. Come on to Defender's Heart. Come on with us, because when I get my Lich powers, I want to make you undead. So I want you to stay alive. The old custodian gives you a toothless smile. Really? It's safe there? But how can I leave the museum? His gaze falls upon the traces of the ransacking, and the old man becomes lost in thought as though trying to find an explanation for what he is seeing. You know what happened here, don't you? Thieves they were, prowling about, wanted to rob the museum, but I stopped them. Those never-do-wells came in here and I gave them what for, a dose of battle magic. They won't be back. Don't you worry about me. I may be old, but I can still hold my own. Winddog turns and in an undertone says, "We could put him down, master. What if our enemies come here and he tells them all about us? His mind is gone." I have to go. The old man's bewildered gaze follows you as you go. I remember this exhibit. It was donated to the museum 21 years ago. All right. All that has been completed.
I'm there.
Won't let us through the door. Oh, wait, that's the door. There we go. Okay. Come on. Can we heal her for a little bit more than thank you? 6. One more. That's fine. Take that. Oh, she needs a little more. There we go. All right. Let's continue on. Leave. All right. Now we need to go to the market square. Oh, wait. What's this? Oh, yeah. I have to go inside first before I get there. Check this one more time. All right. I can't go to any of this until I go to the market square. Travel. Ooh.
Time to share your treasures.
Come on now.
I win.
Alright, easy peasy. Let's keep it moving. As a descendant of demons. Here we go. Come on. Yes, I want to enter the market square. So I can cross the rift. All right. This area takes a minute to get through. Okay. Enormous cracks. Go here, go here. Hey, some people here to help us. That's nice. We'll take the census, y'all. Ooh, ooh. He got obliterated. He got obliterated. He got obliterated. All right. And build this. Awesome. And hey, now we have a way across. Isn't that nice? And errand complete. But before I go across the bridge, we'll deal with this part of the city. All right, and I think this is a good place to stop. I appreciate everyone who took the time to look at this video. Please let me know down in the comments if you have any feedback on what I could be doing better and what is the next game that you want to see me play. Anyway, for now, you have a wonderful night and you all take care.